Hey, what's up, YouTube? Beer Master 180 here again with another movie review. This week, Iron Man 2. I love this movie. One of my favorite superhero movies that I've seen in recent years. Much better than the first one. Great story. I don't know if it follows the comics because I never read the comics personally. I heard different things about it, so I don't really know. So I'm just gonna get right to it. There may be some spoilers again, so just a fair warning for those who don't want anything spoiled for you. Basically, the movie follows Tony Stark continuing as Iron Man, and he's suffering the repercussions of saying that he's Iron Man. The government wants his suit. There's other people trying to mimic his suits, and he's got a Russian whose father worked on the original arc reactor that Tony Stark's father built, and he wants revenge because the Stark family kind of stole part of that legacy from the Russian. So it seems like there's a lot in this one story, but it does actually work quite well. Um, Also, aside from that, you've got Tony Stark, um, his arc reactor that's powering his heart. Even though it's keeping him alive, it's still, well, I won't say that's too much of a spoiler. Um, let's just say it's not doing good for him. And it was a good story. I liked the story. Um, and once again, same cast too. That was good. That was a good cast. When I found out that Terrence Howard wasn't replaying Rhodey, I was kind of like, I don't know. I kind of like Terrence Howard as Rhodey, but Don Cheadle pulled it off. They pulled it off. I think Don Cheadle did a little bit better than Terrence Howard, so I'm quite pleased with that. Um, I think it still would have been nice to see Terrence Howard come back, but for whatever reason they didn't bring him back. It still worked. You've got some new characters. We've got Sam Rockwell playing Tony Stark's business rival Justin Hammer. You've got Mickey Rourke coming in as the Russian Ivan Vanko, aka Whiplash, as the new supervillain of the movie. You've got Samuel Jackson coming back as Nick Fury in a bigger role than his little cameo at the end of the first one. And you've got Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow. One thing that I do know about the comics is that Black Widow herself was Russian. In the movie, she's not. She's got a Russian last name, but she's not. You can't tell that she's Russian. Um, Personally, I think that's a good thing. I do not. I don't really want to see Scarlett Johansson trying to pull off a Russian accent. I think it would have, pulled away from the movie. Um, but all great acting from the cast, and watching like the first 5 minutes of the movie, you can see that Robert Downey Jr. was made to build, like he was made to play this character, Tony Stark. I'm pretty sure he might have even ad libbed some stuff because there was just some stuff that he was saying. It was just like that sounds more like Robert Downey Jr. talking than Tony Stark. But it was still good. The effects were amazing to watch. There was a lot more action to this one than there was in the first one. A lot more. The first one, like, you don't see any glimpse of an Iron Man until 40 minutes when he does the whole breaking out of the cave scene, and then you don't get to see the red and gold Iron Man until about an hour and 10 minutes into it in the first one, and then you get your villain the last 15 minutes or 30 minutes or so, and you get that little fight scene at the end, and then that was all the action for the first one. This one we've got multiple fights between with some characters. Whiplash, he's for the villain from the very beginning. Like in the first one, Obadiah Stane, it took a while to reveal that hey, he's the villain, unless you knew the story or you looked into it. Other than that, because it wasn't a well kept secret. But from the very beginning of the movie, you know that Whiplash, Ivan Vanko, is the villain, and he's the villain throughout. He and Iron Man only fight twice, but they were really good fights. And then there was like some action thrown here and there. Samuel Jackson coming in as Nick Fury, as I mentioned earlier, was phenomenal. I love Samuel Jackson. He's one of my favorite actors. And as Nick Fury, he did really good. Him and Robert Downey Jr. They really meshed together. Um, Gwyneth Paltrow did pretty good. She kind of annoyed me a little bit, but not that much. I think she was just trying to get into character, so it kind of worked. Um, um, like I said, Don Cheadle, he did great. Um, Mickey Rourke played a really good villain. I also love Mickey Rourke. He's a great actor too, and he was really good as Ivan Vanko, Whiplash. Um, that's pretty much about it that I can say about that about the cast. Even though I keep coming back to it. um, yeah, so I loved this movie. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed this movie quite well. Um, like I said, I can't really judge on if if it followed the comics or not. I know that it follows partial to one of the comics called Demon in a Bottle, which is exploring in Tony Stark's alcoholism. They kind of go into that a bit. There's more talk about the Avengers Initiative leading up to, I think it's 2012. They're going to release the Avengers movie. I'm looking forward to that. There's a little tidbit at the end of the movie after the credits. So if you're into that kind of stuff, stick around for that. You probably like that if you're a big fanboy. If you're not that much into the Marvel universe, you just go into this just looking for a good action movie. It wouldn't be wise for you to stay after the credits. There's not that much, but if you're a big Marvel fanboy, definitely stay to the end. Um, Here's a nice little treat for you if you stay for after the credits. So all in all, good movie. 8 out of 10. Um, I don't know why 8. Actually, I can't really find much flaws in it, but I'm still giving it an 8. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10. It's only my second review. I'm not going to give a movie 10 out of 10 on my second review. Anyway, so I hope you like this review. If you think that I need any pointers on how to do a review, I'd love to hear from you. So comment, rate, subscribe, whatever. And yeah, I look forward to making some more reviews, and I hope you enjoy watching them. Thanks.